This is my first battle report covering a triumphant victory in a free-for-all against two Necron players. I'm using my favorite race, Orks, and Orks are the best natural defenders in the entire game. Necrons specialize in applying a lot of force into a single location, and Orks aren't considered the strongest race, but in the hands of a skilled player, any race can be used effectively. Orks naturally generate turrets, and my opponent screws up big time right off the bat by attempting a rush attack directly against one of my defended areas. Necron warriors are easily a match against early Ork units, but when combined with the Orks' natural defenses, they get mopped up. This quickly hamstrings his momentum, and I'm quickly able to launch a counteroffensive against his base. Necron bases are typically the least defensible bases in the game. Although their turrets are effective, they are expensive and there's no need to build them unless you're on the defense. When there's an opportunity to harass your opponent, you should always do so. Even if you don't accomplish much, distracting your enemy can prevent him from building his base and his economy. My large rush force forces him to build 2 turrets and destroys one of his power generators. Even if I don't severely cripple or destroy him, this is considered a win as an early skirmish. Due to the victory of this early skirmish, this Necron player won't be able to make any offensives until later in the game, leaving him out of my hair. Due to the fact that Necron players generate their resources from power generators, strategic points are completely useless to them, at least in the first half of the game. Therefore, I take them for myself, without worrying about the Necrons thinking that they should have them. I boldly send troops to the center of the map to seize the relic. This is the most vulnerable area on the map, but if I can fortify it, the advantage is mine. I succeed in fortifying the relic, because these Necron players are rookies, and they don't have a force that can drive me out, and they're playing defensively. Because I'm playing as Orks, I can build an infinite number of turrets in the form of wall banners. It also does not hurt the Ork economy to spend money on turrets, because they are also a resource unto themselves. Building wall banners allows Orks to advance to the next technology tier, so I am fortifying a strategic position as well as advancing my economy. Now that I have the strategic advantage, I begin to use a tactic known as turtling. When you control the most important resources and continue to fortify them instead of sending troops, you are hiding in your base like a turtle shell, which is why it is called turtling. The goal is to grind enemies down with the sheer force of your superior economy. The only way they can beat me now is if by some freak chance they both decided to launch a suicidal offensive against my base at the same time, which is nearly impossible due to the fog of war. They can't see what I'm doing all the time. Only if their units are in range can they see what I'm doing. Most people don't risk that because they'll just get shot. The strategy of turtling is actually ironic, due to the fact that the Orks are supposed to be a savage, violent race, and very offensive and actually pretty stupid. In the Warhammer lore, what they're supposed to do is send wave after wave headlong at the enemy and win by sheer force. Call me a heretic, but I actually plan on winning this game, so I'm using strategy. Once I build my monstrosity of a base, I have enough power to launch an attack against the Necron players. In a free-for-all, it is best to eliminate your opponents one by one. Because I have uncontested control of the only relic on the map, I can build a Squiggoth, the Ork special unit, and the Necron players can't build their most powerful unit, the Awakened Monolith. An Awakened Monolith is far more powerful than a Squiggoth. However, because the Necrons aren't able to build their most powerful unit at all, having a Squiggoth is a winning advantage. Even as unspectacular as Squiggoths tend to be, it has a huge amount of health, and is better than any single Necron vehicle that they can field. After devastating their primary defenses, the Necron player summons his Night Lord, a powerful unit which is immune to damage, but has only a temporary form. However, annoyingly, because it is the closest unit to my units, it draws a considerable amount of their fire. In the meantime, however, the other Necron player decides to attack the rear of my enemy's base. He would have been defeated regardless of his help, but now that someone is stabbing him in the back, he is utterly wiped out very quickly. This is also a great time saver for me, because now I don't have to go and find the other Necron player to kill him. This attack on the first player's base barely put a damper on my forces, and even though I'm fighting back-to-back Night Lords, the other player gets squashed very quickly. The other Necron player is defeated so handily that he leaves before I even reach his base. And that is why this map now belongs to the Orks.
It now belongs to the Orks!